is our first day in Paris, and we are going to do all the Paris things and see all of the sights.
We took a 10-minute walk to the train station, and now it's off to our first attraction.
This is what I imagined Paris would look like.
When we got into Paris late last night, we really couldn't see anything. All we noticed was there were a ton of people around and lots of traffic in the streets. But now that we're actually here in the city, it looks pretty cool.
We are walking up on the Louvre. It is so much bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Wow, this is so cool. When we first turned the corner, I thought that little guy was the Louvre, and I was super underwhelmed. The Louvre is the world's most visited museum because it is home to tons of famous paintings and art, including the Mona Lisa. We are not going inside because the line literally wraps around so long, and we're just not really big like art people, so I'm sure if you're super into art and really want to see the Mona Lisa, this would be the place to go. It's probably incredible. Just we got lots to see today.
The square is actually really fun to just kind of hang out, and I don't think there's a ton of tourists here, so it makes it that much more enjoyable. I believe the buildings all around us are a part of the museum, and it is very cool because it is 228 years old because it was established in the 1700s. Here we go. Oh, almost got it.
I like all these little mini Louvres that are all around the main Louvre.
They're fun because you can see inside.
This is actually a lot cooler than I thought it was gonna be. We were just walking out of the Louvre and I looked up and I was like, Jacob, there's the Eiffel Tower. So crazy. And there she is. So I really thought that that was the Arc de Triomphe because it looks exactly like it. But what's it called, Jacob?
Well, it's called Arc de Triomphe, but I guess this one has horses on top of it. We could either take the subway, go down that escalator, or we could walk about 20 minutes.
And we are walking so that we can see more of Paris.
On our way to our next attraction, we actually stumbled upon this church right here. It is a 16th century church called Saint-Jacques. I believe that's how you pronounce it in French. And this is like St. Jacques Church. This was built in the 16th century and it was actually destroyed during the French Revolution. This is everything that is left of the original church.
Here we have the river that runs all through Paris. The Notre Dame de Paris.
This Catholic structure dedicated to the Virgin Mary started construction in 1163, and I read that it took almost 200 years to build the entire thing. It's under construction right now because of the fire that happened a few years ago, but hopefully it's going to be fully reopened in the year 2024. in the Latin Quarter of Paris that houses the Pantheon. It was built in the late 1700s. I think it was supposed to be a church. Don't know if it's a church anymore. It was modeled after the Roman Pantheon, and I think it also has some Greek elements too. And so I guess it's just cool to look at now. It's huge. Something we're learning about Paris is that it starts raining and then stops raining. Starts raining, stops raining all the time. But it's usually pretty light, but that means that the ground is pretty much always wet. And Jenny made me sit on a bench to take pictures, and now I'm soaked.
At the Luxembourg Gardens. They were constructed in the 1600s and they are over 50 acres. There's little ponds and grass, and this is the first time that we've actually seen grass and maybe water since we've been in Paris. And it is kind of nice because it kind of feels like you're out of the city and you can just like breathe for a second. So it'd be a nice place to like come, read a book, walk around. There's tons of people running around here, so a nice little track around here is good. So yeah, it's just kind of calm and naturey and it's nice. I think this place would be a lot prettier in the summer because all of the trees are dead, so it's a little bit sad looking in here, but in the summer or spring, probably even the fall, it would be beautiful.
Yes, I've seen plenty of pictures of the gardens in the summer, and it is absolutely beautiful with all of the flowers. So
maybe do this one in the summer.
For us, this is a great way to do Paris. We're out in the fresh air, just walking to all these attractions. We're not necessarily going inside any buildings to look at what's inside, but we are seeing a ton of the main things that people say to do while you're in Paris.
When we walk out, we are going to see the Arc de Triomphe.
Wow, how do we get there?
I don't know.
We'll get there.
Driving in this roundabout looks very stressful. So glad we don't have a car here. Trains for the win.
When planning out our day, the Arc de Triomphe was the second most important thing we had to see today, only behind the Eiffel Tower, which is coming up in just a moment. But I mean, just look at it. It is so gorgeous. And I didn't really know this before coming here, but it is total chaos with all the cars driving around it. I counted, there's 12 different streets that all feed into this roundabout. Absolutely crazy. I would not want to drive on this thing. The Arc de Triomphe honors those who fought and died in French wars. So here's this massive, beautiful structure, and then just over there, I think I see what we're about to do next.
Another train to the Eiffel Tower. Oh, Jacob, look. So big. Clearly we have made it to the Eiffel Tower. It is huge. It's so weird because I feel like the Eiffel Tower is something you hear about your entire life and you see so many pictures, and right now I'm just like, whoa, I'm here right now. It's just a weird thing.
We just saw the car that's going up all the way to the top. This thing is so massive.
The Eiffel Tower is so huge. I don't think you can really understand how big it is until you're actually here. It's so crazy. The clouds actually covered the top of it.
Yeah, I knew it was tall, but then just walking up to it, being this close, like, it's so insane. Like, I definitely don't think we even come close to catching all of it in the frame. but it is about 81 stories tall, which is massive. And it was constructed in 1889. I believe it was the tallest structure in the world at the time. It is also the most visited monument that has an entrance fee. I believe like 7 million plus people come here every year to just experience the tower because it's so recognizable in the entire world. I feel like pretty much
It's like
everyone,
so famous.
pretty much everybody knows about the Eiffel Tower, and so it's just so fun to be here.